Welcome to the African Topics. This is where we look at 15 markets across Africa and especially covering the equities markets. And we do this week by week. And these are the top highlights that we have for you that happened last week. Firstly, we saw a dip, especially within the Southern African and West African markets. And this was attributed especially to the financial and telecommunication sectors in those specific markets. And the dip that we did see, especially in the South African markets, was in Namibia. Namibia fell by about 7.5% last week, and this was largely because of a loss on the Namibian dollar, which lost against the US dollar by about 2.7%. And when it comes to the gainers of this last week, there were only few gainers, and that was particularly Tanzania and Morocco, where we saw them gain by about 0.6 and 0.5% respectively. And something for us, something just to note for the viewers is which markets are actually doing well year to date. So there are very few markets that are actually performing quite well. We're seeing Egypt, which is up by about 12% year to date. We're seeing Zimbabwe, which is the best performing market in Africa thus far, by performing 30.9%. We're also seeing South Africa doing well at 9.8%. However, the losers or the key losers for this year, particularly, is the BRVM market, which is down 12.2%, Zambia, which is down 19.8%, and Ghana, which is down about 15.3%. So you can see overall the equities markets have been struggling this year, but we've seen some positive notes, especially with Egypt. And now a key news that happened last week was the fact that they received their last tranche from the IMF, and particularly they received $2 billion, closing out on their $12 billion program. So that's a positive note, since we've seen improvements, especially when it comes to unemployment, when it comes to economic growth, when it comes to a reduction in fiscal deficit, and when it comes to the stabilization of the currency. So to watch out this week will be whether we see a positive momentum in particularly some of the key stocks, especially in West Africa and North Africa. And as the new month comes in, we will see momentum, especially now that we're seeing the Fed coming to a decision on Wednesday whether they will cut the rates as expected by many of the analysts who expect the US Fed to cut, whether that will impact the equities markets. So we'll be watching closely. From inception to date, the performance of our African topics has been 59%. This is relative to the benchmark, which is the MSCI Africa Index ex South Africa, which has delivered 12.9%. So inception was December 2016, and just a review, our African topics are the 10 stocks that we have the highest conviction on, that we've indexed together to provide the performance that we have. So the index is up 4.6%, and I believe this is a good reason to invest with us, given that we've been able to out-deliver or to perform the index for over 2 years now. Thank you for watching African Topics. See you next week.